everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I am actually doing a bit of a challenge video. It has been a little while since I did a challenge, so I felt like I really needed to get one done again. This time I am doing the 3-color challenge with acrylic paints, and I actually decided to do this because I've had these 3 colors of dollar store acrylic paint sitting around and I never really got around to using them. So yeah, I started off doing the initial sketch on a piece of A4 paper, and I actually ended up scanning it in and printing it off very large over 2 pieces of A4 paper, and that was just so that I could transfer it onto a large canvas board. And I'll tell you how I actually transferred it over. I actually got a piece of charcoal and I scribbled along the whole back of the sketch, and then I basically taped it down over my canvas board and traced over the sketch, and that basically transfers the charcoal from the back of the paper onto the canvas. And yeah, that's how I actually did it, and I don't know, I find that very useful way to do it. And yeah, because obviously you can't use a light box when you're painting on a bit of canvas board. So yeah, I actually want to talk about some issues that I had with this painting. The main issue was the skin. Now, because I didn't have the 3 primary colors, I had a very limited range of colors and values that I could achieve with these paints. Not to mention that they're a dollar store as well. They're not the highest quality paints, but I won't really talk about that at the moment. My main issue was with the colors, because I had red and blue, but I didn't have yellow, so it was a bit of a challenge trying to get shadows. And now, you wouldn't think you'd need yellow for shadows, but a lot of the time when I shade skin, I use different tones of the skin color, and because I wasn't able to achieve brown with these colors, I wasn't able to get very much shading done on her skin. But I still tried. I used a little bit of purple in some of the shadows, and I used a bit more pink in the blush, and I think that helped a little bit. Now, I am obviously not very proficient in acrylic paints. I've only dabbled in them a little few times, but I do love to try new things, and this was definitely on my list of things I wanted to do, so yeah. So now you can see me painting in the bust area of her dress. Now this is actually my favorite part of the illustration, because I don't know, I love the way I painted in those ruffles and how the shadows and the highlights look in them, because I had that very light antique white color, which wasn't white, it was more of a peachy tone. But because I had that and the red and the blue, I was able to get a lot of range of values in with the purples. As you can see, I have some very light purples, which I just used a touch of red and blue and mostly that antique white color. And in the darkest areas of the purple, I actually only used the red and blue, and sometimes I used a tiny bit of that creamy color. And yeah, so I was able to get a lot of value in the dress, and yeah, I really do like it. I think it's a pretty dress. Now, the hair gave me a little bit of issues, mainly because I didn't really look up how to paint hair with acrylic paints. I was kind of just winging it, and I don't know, trying to use a similar technique I would with markers, but obviously it's a completely different medium. It's an opaque medium, so it's not going to work the same way. So yeah, I actually took a break for one day, and I basically looked up how to paint hair with acrylic paints, and yeah, I ended up going over that a little bit and used some new techniques that I learned from a Robin Klontz video, and yeah, I ended up getting the hair to a point where I was happy with it. It really helped to use the paintbrush fibers to sort of allude to paint like hair texture a little bit. It's hard to explain, but I will definitely link the video that I looked at in the description so you can check that out for yourself, because I'm not going to explain it very well. So yeah. So now obviously, as we can see, the illustration is a little over half done. It's looking like something that's nice, but obviously it's missing a little something. I initially wanted to do it in a sort of lineless style. As you can see, the shading on her neck, I tried to achieve a bit of shading there to allude to, like, basically she's got a jaw instead of just one big blob, but I wasn't able to achieve that very well, and I decided I'm going to have to go over this with some line work. Now, the good thing about acrylic paints is that they are opaque, so you can paint over details here and there, and yeah, it's a pretty forgiving medium, so I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, I ended up going over the whole illustration with some line art, and I basically used the darkest purple I could achieve, because I wanted the lines to be dark so I could add details in where I couldn't before. So yeah, I ended up doing a very dark purple line art, and yeah, I'm actually really happy with that. I do like the purple color, and I think it fits in well with the piece. I started off lining her neck area and her shoulders first, and also alluding a little bit to her bust, sort of near her armpit-ish area, because the dress is obviously off the shoulders, so you're going to see that a little bit. And yeah, I did the arms, and then after that I very carefully lined the eyes. Now I'm actually very happy with how I did that. I didn't do outline all the way around the eyes. I mainly did it on areas where the lashes would be thicker, the eyelashes, and I was so nervous at this point because I know if I just blobbed the eyelashes it would pretty much ruin the drawing, so I was very meticulous with that. Now I have to say I am very proud of that little nose. I don't know why, sometimes I have a few issues with the noses I draw, I'm just not 100% happy with them, but that nose I think is a cute one. And yeah, I decided I didn't want to do line art in the hair or the dress because I felt that they had the detail that I wanted. So yeah, I decided to only line her skin, and I actually really like that because it gives her hair and her dress a sort of soft look, but it's still fairly detailed. And yeah, I really like that. And yeah, finally I just wanted to go over the whole background just with a little bit more texture, because I don't know, I felt like it was a little bit plain. Like when I first designed it, I thought that, you know, a nice blue background, something simple would look good, but there's a lot of empty space, especially over on the left side, and I wasn't very happy with that, so I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting. So I actually went over the whole piece very roughly because I wanted it a sort of rough painterly look, and I sort of just crisscrossed with some different tones of blues. And doing this, I was also able to go over parts of her hair where I wasn't happy with the silhouette, and I was able to change the shape of that as well because it's an opaque medium and I love that so much. So you can just go over whatever you want, and yeah, I found it really fun and interesting. So overall I am happy with the artwork. It's not like I'm not 100% happy. I know that I know there's bits here and there which I'm like about, but overall I'm pretty happy. So I'm going to let you guys decide if I passed or failed the 3-color challenge. So I will put a poll on the screen, and yeah, comment below what you think of this painting. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone. Now, I initially wanted to try to do it in a sort of lineless style.
Sorry. I tried to hold it back.
I initially wanted to try to do it in a sort of lineless style, especially you can see with the shading.